Now, playing the crash cymbals is not brain surgery, but it's not as easy as it looks either. It's the sort of thing you can teach someone in about 30 seconds, but perhaps not the thing you want to try for the very first time in a room full of kids you're already terrified of. In the first half of that first rehearsal, which was an hour long, there was one section of the music we were playing that had a cymbal crashing. The conductor, a very stern-looking man with a very unironic mustache, kept stopping the piece of music right before that section to berate the trombones for bad tone. So I stood there, my skinny little arms doing their best to hold these big metal discs out in front of me, while the other drummers banged away on snare drum, bass drum, and glockenspiel. Just before the end of that first half, we finally got to that section of music, the music building and building to a climax that I was solely responsible for. And that managed to mark break. The kids all went outside on break, the summer sun still in the sky at 8 p.m. And even though all I really wanted to do was to climb into the bass drum and hide out of shame, I followed my fellow musicians out. This was mostly because, completely irrationally, I feared that the second half of that rehearsal may just take place in some other location, and if I didn't follow everyone around, I might get lost, and who knows, have to spend the night locked in an empty band room, surviving off of valve oil and spit-soaked clarinet reeds. So I stood there on the edge of the other drummers' circle when a car pulled up in the parking lot. The guy who'd been playing bass drum elbowed the snare drum player and said, "Guess you're back on timpani." I didn't understand what he meant until the car pulled away, leaving behind the top drummer in the line, late for rehearsal. I remember it very, very clearly because I immediately fell in love with her. Her name was Tara, and she approached the group with the swagger of someone who knows they're cool. No one introduced us as she approached, so I just faded into the background while she stood there, smoking and looking like Pat Benatar. Now, if my adolescence had been more like a John Hughes film and less like a John Carpenter film, Tara and my eyes would have met. And I would have said something charmingly awkward as a Simple Minds song played in the background. But unfortunately for me, I was me. And so the first time she took notice of me was during the second half of that first rehearsal. To which my main contribution was this.